Every day, 27 Canadians hear the words, "You have a brain tumor." I can't even begin to imagine. We're joined today by Stephanie Ford, survivor, which is what's really key. Congratulations on that. But also representative for the Brain Tumour Foundation of Canada. Wow. I was saying in rehearsal, like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but there's so much to share. So many questions that we have to ask.
Yes.
Why don't we just start by, how are you?
I'm okay today.
And that's all that we can hope for. I just say,
Yes,
a day at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
A day at a time. So this amazing foundation.
Yes.
And the walk, and I don't know where to begin. So it started 25 years ago?
Yes, the walk was founded 25 years ago. They'll be celebrating their 25th year this year, so it's a big occasion. They've grown quite a bit, so it's wonderful. And I became acquainted with the foundation, of course, because of my own journey.
Yes.
And this June 1st, which is the date of the walk, is also the 2-year anniversary that I found out that I had a brain tumor. So it'll be a bit of a milestone for me as well, being 2 years into the journey. But yeah, very much looking forward. I'll be speaking at the event this year as well, so it'll be probably a little emotional. My kids have told me, "Mommy, don't cry."
So, oh, of course you're going to cry.
I know.
Oh, please, of course you're going to cry.
Well,
I'm getting ready to cry now.
Me too. Yeah.
But you spoke about your children, and if we can just touch on that too, because they're asking you difficult questions, and you said as they grow older, they're a little more specific. And how? So
when I was diagnosed, they were 4.5, and so trying to figure out how to explain that to kids without scaring them, we just simply said, Mommy has something in her brain that shouldn't be there, and the doctors are going to help fix that. Yes. And now they're 6.5, almost 7, and they obviously hear a lot more. They see me being more involved in the foundation. And, the other day, my one son asked me, he's like, "Do people with brain tumors die?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, how do you answer that question? We're all going to die one day." So I chose to be honest with him, and I said yes. And, I said, "But Mommy's very fortunate. Thankfully, my tumor is stable right now. It is inoperable, but so we don't necessarily know what the future will hold. But I was telling Amina earlier, it's a great gift because, and maybe gift isn't the right word, but it's a great life lesson for me early on to realize what's important and where you should focus your energies."
Yes, and you were also talking about the signs and symptoms.
Yes.
Because, that's very important. They can be confused with a whole bunch of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me personally, I've always had headaches my whole life. I never really thought much about them. Raising twin boys, that can be a challenge in and of itself. Yes. And then I saw my optometrist. I go, every couple of years for my checkup, and he noticed something, and he had suggested that it could be that there's swelling in the brain that's causing this problem. I sort of laughed it off with my husband, didn't think much about it, right?
Well, what does that mean?
I know.
Yeah.
And went back to my family doctor, and then once she heard that, thankfully she did a little bit more investigating, and that's sort of when life took a turn.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what happens. There's visual disturbances.
Absolutely.
All kinds of things.
Nausea, vomiting, or some other common symptoms, which again, as women, sometimes those could mean other things as well, right?
Truth.
But headaches and dizziness and fatigue are often... Yes.
And here we are. Yeah. So we've got frequent headaches, which you talked about, visual disturbance.
Dizziness.
Yeah, and seizures are often, I think, a more severe symptom of brain tumors. And, at the clinic, I'm at St. Michael's Hospital down there, and a lot of people, I'm probably one of the more younger patients in the clinic down there. I think a lot of people have had something happen, like they've lost their hearing, or they've had a seizure, or they've had some sort of event that has triggered an investigation.
So personality changes. We touched on this in rehearsal, the short-term memory. Can you share that with us?
Absolutely. So I had surgery, it'll be 2 years ago towards the end of June, and that was just, they can't remove the tumor, but I had swelling, which was causing a condition called hydrocephalus, which is just water on the brain. Right. And so they needed to take down the swelling. So the procedure I had done, I guess as you get older, the passageways in your brain become wider, and so because I'm younger, it was a bit of a risky procedure, but we wanted to have it done because we knew what the consequences could be, and also they were going to get a biopsy while they were in there. And Yeah, so unfortunately, one of the symptoms is short-term memory loss, which I think that's when it sort of became real for my caregivers. So my parents, my husband, my kids. I was joking with you earlier that the kids, I came home and they had shaved a part of my head, and I had 14 staples, and the kids went to school telling everybody that I had bullets in my head. So we had to, of course, explain to them they weren't bullets. This is what it is, and this is what it means for Mommy.
But girl, what a fabulous story for your kids to tell at school.
I know.
Talk about the center of attention.
Right.
At Mom's expense.
Of course.
But welcome to
Isn't it always?
parenting. Yes. So we were like the resources you were going to touch on.
We were talking about the foundation and how important it is, because there are so many resources available to people who are either going through this or know of people who are, and they need maybe one-on-one help. Or
Yes. So, I was grateful enough. My mom is a researcher, and as soon as she found out that this was happening, she went right online and she came across the Brain Tumour Foundation of Canada, and they've been absolutely wonderful. They have handbooks for children that are going through this experience. So
Love that.
yeah, it's a great book.
Wow.
It's a free resource. They've got a handbook on the different types of tumors. There's over 120 documented, but they also just launched a registry. Maybe you heard about this month, because May is Brain Tumour Awareness Month.
Okay, right.
And they launched this registry, which is now going to count all malignant and non-malignant brain tumors in Canada.
Yes.
And the hopes is that that will help with the research that they're able to do to hopefully one day find a cure.
So we want the walk. We want to bring up the event page for the walk.
Right.
Brain Tumour Walk, Saturday, June 1, starts at 10.
the registration starts
Yes.
at 8:30 though.
Yes.
Which is great, and an opening ceremonies. So for more information, go to braintumors.ca. But what is this honkin' cup here, girl?
So this is called the Cup of Hope, which the foundation introduced last year, and it's awarded to the team that raises the most money through the walk. That's obviously one of the ways that they generate funds. And so my team, Team Stephanie, we walk in the Toronto Walk, and we raised over $30,000 last year
Oh my gosh.
to go to research.
Fantastic.
Thank
Great.
you.
So
Thank you.
much.
Gosh.
And you know what? We're going to be right back talking about accessibility, so don't go away.